Gotham Knights has just released a brand new gameplay video showcasing Red Hood and Nightwing, and whilst it's left a lot of people excited, it's left me a bit underwhelmed, and I want to go into why right now. First off, we better address how they've pulled the game from previous generation platforms, so it will no longer release on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One consoles. On the website, it says this is to provide players with the best possible gameplay experience. The game will release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It will not be available for PlayStation 4 or Xbox One consoles. And I get it, we're moving away from the previous generation consoles at the moment, but when this game is coming out in a matter of months, and the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One editions of this game should have really already been nearly completed, it screams to me that there's a massive optimization problem. And we're going to go into the gameplay trailer now. I'm going to watch it and do a bit of a live react whilst the gameplay is on screen. But there is a scene at the end, towards the end, when Red Hood is fighting a Talon guard, where the frame rate just drops. So yeah, let's go into the gameplay. I want to get into the part. The best thing about this gameplay video for me is that Gotham City so far looks amazing. It looks great. The scene of Nightwing just sat on the side there waiting to jump off is awesome. But then we're greeted by Nightwing's glider. And this is a massive issue for me because that just doesn't look fun. I feel like they had an opportunity to implement, like I said in my last video, an Assassin's Creed type sort of movement and sort of parkour system where Nightwing could be just running across rooftops, jumping, sort of using the grapple gun, because he will still have a grapple gun to get onto other rooftops, but just be a bit more sort of fluid. The idea of just jumping and holding onto that glider to get around just doesn't look fun to me. The same with Red Hood. I feel like it's just like, well, what can we do with Red Hood? Well, we'll just give him infinite double jumps. Right? Yeah. We go into a bit of combat here with the two of them. It looks fun. I imagine me and my friends having a great time playing this, which is great. But then the difference between the two is Red Hood just seems very stationary. And it seems like the gunplay is very much sort of auto-aim. You're just going to have to hit a bunch of triggers. It is leaving me a bit worried, this. And I don't want to just be completely negative on it, because what they're doing is something new. Like I said, it's a fresh take on sort of the Arkham series, implementing multiplayer. And the idea of playing this game with my friend is great. And you can tell from the beginning of the trailer that there isn't any sort of boundaries to how far you and your friend can be apart in the world. It doesn't look like you have to be in a certain vicinity of each other to play together. It looks like you can just both go off, do your own thing. And I imagine then you'll just meet up to start storylines or the quest, like the main questing. But there'll be sort of free roam events going on. We get to see a clip of Red Hood on the cycle. It looks fun. It reminds me a lot of Insomniac's Spider-Man, when you are taking down the speeding and the traffic incidents in there. You jump onto the side of this car. Now, it looks straight out of Insomniac, this bit now. You take the driver out, take over the vehicle, bring it to a stop, jump off. It just looks like Spider-Man, that to me. No real problem. I don't know how you'd do something like that different at the moment. Combat here looks cool. The main thing for me in this part of the combat is that we start seeing a bit of the loot drops from the enemies. And it looks like you'll be able to pick up sort of stuff for your weapons. Obviously, whatever character you're playing will have different loot drops. It looks like at the end of this, Red Hood picks up some ammo. Some bits to craft for his gun. You can see it there highlighted in blue. And it looks like those red markings on the floor could be clues. I don't know how that would work, but it looks like a magnifying glass that you'd associate with a clue points, a clue spec, no idea. But yeah, I like the idea of the grapple gun with Red Hood. It'd be nice if you could do some sort of Spider-Man-esque flips whilst in the air, just to give it a bit of coolness to the traversing. The Belfry Tower looks nice. I like the idea that this is your base of operations. We get our first look of skins for the new characters. They look great. Each of the suits have different stats. I cannot wait to get in there and try out some different builds. Hopefully I'll do, if I find any decent builds, I'll make some tutorials, put them on this channel. So do subscribe if you are enjoying this video so far. Yeah, some of the armors look awesome. And they have released other armors that you can get for pre-order in the game, as well as a new Bat Cycle skin. The movement around of Nightwing just looks a bit hunchbacky. I don't understand why he's moving like that, but nevertheless, I'm not a game developer. We also get a look at how sort of fast travel will work in the game. They say that you can get the fast bat, I think they said. Can't actually remember what the title is now. But it looks like you'll be able to pick a position, it'll go into a cutscene, and you shall drop out of the sky. That looks pretty cool. This bit looks pretty nice. He drops down, grapples onto it to stop him falling. But then it's just this bit which really, like, it'd be so much nicer if you just jumped off now, landed on another building, did a roll, then you springboard off to another building. But instead you just left on this glider. Very boring, and you're just going to fly to that objection point, sort of negating any fun of running around the city or exploring the city. And I know that they're trying to emulate you gliding in Batman as Batman in Arkham, but they had an opportunity to do something different here, and I think that's my main disappointment. I just think even something like Infamous, where you're sort of grinding on top of telephone pole wires and stuff like that, or electricity wires. Yeah. We get a look at stealth and how that'll work. We get two of the same scenarios with two different characters here. It looks very cool. The combat looks at the moment what you'd expect from sort of an Arkham game. It has that stickiness of when you are in combat, the camera placement is just a bit off at times. You seem to just fling from one side of the camera to back to the other end, but and then we get to see the same situation with Red Hood, and yeah, and this is where that issue of sort of frame rate came in for me, when we see him face off against the Talon Guardian. And he sort of starts to do his special move of charging his weapons up. Yeah, he goes to charge his weapons. Now all this red, and now this is where the frame rate just really, it's struggling. And I think that just point back to that fact of that this game just isn't well optimized at the moment, and I'm hoping that they can get this sorted before this game drops in October, because if this combat, if the combat isn't fluid like it is in the Arkham series, this game is going to suffer. So yeah, that's our first look at Red Hood and Nightwing. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to hopefully stay optimistic. I'm hoping that they can fix some of the problems that I've mentioned in this video. We'll see as it gets further down the line. I imagine there'll be more gameplay that comes out. Very excited to see Robin and see how the teleporting works, running around the city. At the moment, that feels like that's going to be more fun to me than Nightwing or Red Hood, even though Nightwing is my favourite character. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it and you are still here, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. The channel's only got 18 so far, so your subscription does really help. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll talk about it more. See you later.